Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with National Teachers Award winners in New Delhi this evening. The first 2+2 dialogue between India and the United States to take place in New Delhi on Thursday. Army Chief asserts that any matter of moral turpitude and corruption will be dealt with sternly. In Jammu and Kashmir, 4 CRPF personnel injured in a grenade attack in Baramulla district. In Hyderabad twin bomb blast case, trial court convicts 2 of the 5 accused, quantum of sentence to be pronounced on Monday. And in US Open, Roger Federer and Maria Sharapova crash out. Defending champion Rafael Nadal reaches quarterfinals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with awardees of National Teachers Awards on the eve of Teachers' Day this evening. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will be conferring the awards on them at a function in New Delhi tomorrow. This year, the Ministry of Human Resource Development has revised the guidelines for the selection of teachers for National Awards 2017. The basic premise now is that the new scheme should be transparent and fair, and the reward demonstrated excellence and performance and has been inspired by recent innovations in major national awards. The first 2+2 dialogue between India and the US will take place on Thursday. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will meet Secretary of State Michael R. Pompeo and Secretary of Defence James Mattis in New Delhi. Sources said in New Delhi that bilateral issues including trade, immigration and ways to counter terrorism will be discussed during the dialogue. India will also seek to know US views on Pakistan. New Delhi maintains that both India and the US have to be more responsive in their fight against terrorism. Sources said India has a global strategic partnership with the US and the relationship has got further impetus under the Trump administration. India does not want Iran to become a nuclear state, but it should have access to civil nuclear energy. India has good relations with Iran and US sanctions on it will have a major impact globally. India believes that it has to fulfill its energy needs and it has been importing oil from Iran to meet its energy requirements. The Secretary of State and Secretary of Defence are expected to reach New Delhi tomorrow. The visiting leaders are also expected to call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. On the last day of his visit to Cyprus, President Kovind will be addressing students at the Cyprus University in a short while from now. He will also unveil a bust of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore in Nicosia. Earlier, Cyprus reaffirmed its support to India for its membership of the Nuclear Suppliers Group (NSG) and its claim for permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council. Both the countries have expressed concern over the threat of terrorism and called for early adoption of the Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism at the United Nations. During the visit of President Kovind to Cyprus, 2 MOUs were signed between India and Cyprus in the fields of sharing of economic intelligence and environment. Mr. Kovind invited Cyprus to become part of the International Solar Alliance to promote clean energy and sustainable development. He will depart for Bulgaria later in the afternoon on the second leg of his 3-nation visit.
The Cyprus visit of President Kovind will conclude after his address at his university. The visit of the President was marked by the reaffirmation of deep ties between India and Cyprus. It also opened new possibilities of cooperation in sharing of economic intelligence, which would be important in fighting the menace of terrorism and black money. President Kovind will arrive in Sofia, Bulgaria, where he will have interaction with business community and a community reception by Indians later in the evening today. Rajesh Jha, AIR News, Nicosia, Cyprus.
Army Chief General Bipin Rawat today asserted that any matter of moral turpitude and corruption will be dealt with sternly in the Major Lethul Gogoi case. Replying to a media query on the sidelines of a function in New Delhi, General Rawat said a court of inquiry has recommended that the army should go in for court-martial proceedings in the case. He said action will be taken based on his guilt that emerges from this. The Army Chief added that if the case is related directly to moral turpitude, then the Army will take action accordingly. Major Gogoi came into controversy following an altercation at the hotel in Srinagar where he was allegedly trying to enter with an 18-year-old woman. General Rawat said social media is here to stay and it is a cause of concern as the country's adversaries are using it on a large scale. He stressed the need to train the jawans and officers of the Indian Army to take advantage of social media.
हमारे जो एडवर्सरी हैं वो सोशल मीडिया का भरपूर इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. हमको भी अपनी तकनीक इस्तेमाल करके सोशल मीडिया को काउंटर करना पड़ेगा और सोशल मीडिया को अपने एडवांटेज के लिए तो अपने जवानों को एजुकेट करना पड़ेगा, अपने अफसरों को एजुकेट करना पड़ेगा और हम इसीलिए एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्रिएट कर रहे हैं जिसके जरिए हम सोशल मीडिया को भरपूर तरीके से अपने एडवांटेज के लिए इसे इस्तेमाल कर सकें.
Kerala has been put on high alert for 3 weeks as more people succumbed to rat fever or leptospirosis. 7 deaths due to suspected leptospirosis were reported yesterday, taking the death toll to 19 in the last 3 days. Kerala Health Minister K.K. Shelja, who chaired an emergency meeting, said the public need not panic as the situation is under control. We have a report.
Speaking to media, the Health Minister said direction is being given to all medical officers to follow 30-day micro-action plan to combat the disease. The government has issued directions to doctors of all government and private hospitals to provide treatment to patients approaching with symptoms of the diseases. The Health Minister also directed to form Arogya Sena, covering 20 houses in all the panchayats to ensure chlorination of water sources in the respective limits. She further informed that to carry out planning to control disease, the Health Department received guidance of expert panel of WHO, Indian Council of Medical Research, National Centre for Disease Control, Union Health Ministry and Manipal Institute of Virus Research. Shamila, AAR News, Thiruvananthapuram.
A trial court hearing the twin blasts case in Hyderabad today found 2 accused guilty and acquitted 2 other accused. The court reserved its judgment relating to another accused for Monday. The quantum of punishment will also be pronounced the same day.
The trial court gave its judgment today, 11 years after the twin blasts left 42 persons dead and 50 others injured in Hyderabad. The blast, which took off within a short span of time at the heart of the city and during a busy hour, shook up the entire nation in 2007. Second Metropolitan Judge Srinivas Rao heard nearly 180 witnesses in the process and examined 3 charges which ran into over 100 pages. The charges were framed under Section 302 and also some more provisions of IPC, besides the Explosive Substances Act. Lakshmi, AAR News, Hyderabad.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 4 paramilitary force personnel were injured after unidentified terrorists hurled a hand grenade towards a CRPF patrolling party at Sangram Chowk in North Kashmir's Baramulla district this morning. Security sources said that 1 seriously injured Jawan was shifted to hospital for specialized treatment. 3 others received grenade splinter injuries. A manhunt was launched to nab the attackers. No terrorist outfit has claimed responsibility for the attack so far. A MiG-27 aircraft airborne from Jodhpur crashed during a routine mission near Devariya village of Jodhpur district this morning. Defence spokesperson Colonel Sambit Ghosh said the pilot ejected safely. He added that a court of inquiry will investigate the cause of the accident. In Uttar Pradesh, heavy rains continue to disrupt normal life in different parts of the state. The Met Department has predicted heavy rain in Bundelkhand region in the next 48 hours. More from our correspondent.
33 persons lost their life in rain-related incidents in last 48 hours, while 24 people are injured. More than 800 houses are either damaged or collapsed due to heavy rain. Many parts of the state, including state capital Lucknow, are witnessing torrential rain from last 24 hours, throwing normal life out of gear in the city and affecting road traffic badly. Bundelkhand and western part of the state are reeling under the flood fury. In Jalon district, water entered into low-lying areas after gates of Karahi Dam were opened to release the water yesterday. After release of 5 lakh cubic water from Mata Tila Dam, Yamuna and Betwa rivers are in spate, flooding many villages in Hamirpur district. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Beti Bachao Beti Padhao scheme was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to solve the problem of gender imbalance and discrimination against the girl child in Indian society. In Visakhapatnam, the initiatives taken up by the government have helped to improve the living standards and promote empowerment of women. Here is a ground report from our Visakhapatnam correspondent.
The Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme is a tri-ministerial effort of the Ministries of Women and Child Development, Health and Family Welfare and Human Resource Development. Polamma of Vijayanagaram district expressed satisfaction over the program, under which she was given financial assistance for institutional delivery.
My name is Polamma. I have one child. During my hospital delivery at Vijayanagaram Hospital, I am given 1,000 rupees, which helped me to take nutrition food and medicines.
Awareness campaigns are being conducted on the importance of the girl child in the family and society with the involvement of Anganwadi workers, ANMS, Ashas, NGOs, self-help groups and public representatives. With the report of Srinivas Mahesh from Visakhapatnam, this is Gudmala Kapoor, All India Radio News.
The conference on e-mobility in Indian Railways began in New Delhi today to discuss the strategies regarding future of mobility in the country. Speaking on clean energy utilization in Indian Railways, Minister of State for Railways Manoj Sinha said modern technology and artificial intelligence could be used for optimal power utilization. He said the possibilities of air and solar power are limitless. The minister assured that Indian Railways will continue to cooperate in maintaining balance in the environment. In his address, Ashwini Lohani, chairman of Railway Board, said Indian Railways is moving towards fast-speed corridors, creating better terminals, new tracks and complete electrification. He added that the reforms in processes, structures and infrastructure will be for all to see. The Supreme Court today declined an urgent hearing on a plea by the Tamil Nadu government challenging the National Green Tribunal NGT's order allowing mining major Vedanta Group access to the administrative unit inside its closed Sterlite copper plant at Tuticorin. A bench of Chief Justice Deepak Mishra and Justices A.M. Khanvilkar and D.Y. Chandrachud said it will hear the plea next week. The state government had moved the apex court against the NGT order on the 14th of August. Pakistani lawmakers are electing a new president today. The ruling Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Party's candidate Arif Alvi is expected to win as the opposition parties failed to field a joint candidate. Election Commission of Pakistan has completed preparations for the election. Polling stations have been set up in all 4 provincial assemblies, in addition to the National Assembly. In Japan, Typhoon Jebi made landfall today, bringing violent winds and heavy rainfall. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe urged people to evacuate early and ordered his government to take all necessary measures to protect residents. The country's weather agency issued warnings to more than 300,000 people in western Japan to evacuate. Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports and Information and Broadcasting, Colonel Rajyavardhan Rathore, today met the medal winners of World Youth Boxing, which took place in Budapest. During the interaction, the minister said,
अभी बॉक्सिंग के अंदर एशियाई खेल हुए, राष्ट्रमंडल खेल हुए और आगे चल के ओलंपिक्स में आप देखिएगा किस तरह से हमारे बॉक्सर्स, लड़के और लड़कियां सब आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। ये यूथ टीम है भारत की बॉक्सिंग की, 18 साल से कम उम्र वाले, और ये अभी बहुत सारे पदक जीत कर आए। 10 लड़कियों ने पार्टिसिपेट करा, उसमें से 8 के पदक आए हैं वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप के अंदर। ये सब प्रतीक हैं जो हजारों लाखों लड़कियां जो घर से बाहर निकलकर अलग अलग क्षेत्र में जाके अच्छा करना चाहती हैं।
5-time champion Roger Federer was knocked out of the US Open by Aussie John Millman. In men's singles, John Millman upset Swiss Roger Federer 3-6, 7-5, 7-6, 7-6 to enter the quarterfinals. He will now clash with former champion Novak Djokovic of Serbia. In women's singles, 5-time Grand Slam champion Maria Sharapova was beaten 6-4, 6-3 by Spain's Carla Suarez Navarro. The Spaniard will now face last year's runner-up Madison Keys in the quarterfinal tomorrow. In men's singles quarterfinals, Juan Del Potro will take on John Isner today. Isner reached the quarterfinals for the first time in 7 years. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with National Teachers Award winners in New Delhi this evening. The first 2+2 dialogue between India and the United States to take place in New Delhi on Thursday. Army Chief asserts that any matter of moral turpitude and corruption will be dealt with sternly. In Jammu and Kashmir, 4 CRPF personnel injured in a grenade attack in Baramulla district. In Hyderabad twin bomb blast case, trial court convicts 2 of the 5 accused, quantum of sentence to be pronounced on Monday. And in US Open, Roger Federer and Maria Sharapova crash out. Defending champion Rafael Nadal reaches quarterfinals. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsoneir.nic.in. And with that, we end the Midday News.